Hello and welcome to Sci Fi Drawing 101, Week 1, with your lead instructor, Derek Stevens. Hello, Derek.
Hey, how you guys doing? Guys and gals, all shapes, sizes, and forms, all around the world. I'm hyped up on coffee. How you guys doing tonight? Smile and nod, smile and nod.
So today's the first week of this class, and as a result, there are a few things that need to be kind of addressed real fast. First of all, obviously everybody who is in attendance right now has figured out the registration. If you are a future person and would like to attend these classes live, head over to the website, enroll in the class, and then you'll have to submit a registration form for the webinar, and that will be available on the next upcoming classes page, or the class session page. Then when the class starts up, we're going to post a password, which you will be notified of on the 3D Buzz website. And once class starts up, we use a program called BuzzNet, which is available over at sta.buzznet.3dbuzz.com. And it is how we communicate with students with this chat. And in addition, it allows us to monitor who's participating and what state of participation they are in. So just a quick rundown. If you want to follow along with the class, we will occasionally ask people to select participate if they want to participate. If you select not ready, we are going to assume you've fallen asleep. If you need more time, hit one more minute. If you're done, hit ready. And that gives us an idea of where people are at. Then we will be periodically resetting everybody's participation status to not ready as things are done and stuff. So I think that's about it. So go ahead and jump into BuzzNet if you guys are in attendance. And be sure to jump into BuzzNet in the future for our upcoming classes. So I think now's about the time to go ahead and have me stop talking and
You're doing so good.
Words. And for me to jump over to Derek's screen so he can take over.
All right, here we go. It was kind of cool to see on the other side. I've never been able to see Nelson's screen before. Now, if you've not seen his room, he's got like 10 monitors all around everywhere. He could the president can get a hold of him and Batman at the same time, and he won't lose any power. So anyway, with that, enough silliness. Again, welcome to Sci-Fi 101. This is Derek Stevens from 3dbuzz.com. What we're going to do, we're going to talk about sci-fi. What is sci-fi? Man, when I think of sci-fi, I think of Star Trek. I mean, the old-fashioned Kirk, bam, bam, fighting. It's a bar. No, I'm in space, and I got pointed ears. I gave a nerve pinch to you. And that leads me to talk about the flip phone. I mean, flip phones are so outdated now. But if you look at the flip phones and then you go back to Star Trek and you see, well, that was their communicator. And their little tricorders. Okay, I'm geeking out on you. They're just scanning everything. It's their iPads now. It's really important to understand as a concept artist, it's my job to think what could be. And these guys in the past thought of what could be, and now science fiction is science fact. I want to touch base a little bit on what's going on with this big space race. And we have a lot of international people in class. As we know, NASA, they're basically no more right now, and it's going to a privatized sort of system. I'm anxious to see what the private sector, free thinkers, people who think outside the box, are going to do for spaceships. Are we going to colonize the moon? And all sorts of crazy, awesome science fiction that will be science fact. So that kind of in mind, it's really important to think outside the box. We need to think about functionality. Is it possible? Again, you can give your reader, your audience, one big leap of faith for craziness. Say there's an alternate dimension. Okay, that's cool. The readers can buy that. Your viewers can buy that. But then you have to start to thinking what really makes sense. And we'll dwell more on that in later topics, because we're going to cover all sorts of stuff. As I grab my paper here, we're going to do week 1 this week, robots, basic shapes. 2, we're going to do the power of the reed. It's a cool style that I recently discovered. About doing silhouettes, building from silhouettes, some really cool, quick ways to get very forgiving renders on your PC, Mac, what have you, even on paper. And then we're going to draw spaceships week 4, nothing but spaceships, spaceships. Week 5, we're going to talk about power armor. I believe it's coming, the Army, some cool things on the horizon. They have this invisible cloak with all these fiber optics that take the picture in front, project it in the back, and it basically makes you invisible. Seen a tank go invisible. Pretty cool stuff. We're going to try to, I guess, cover the gambit and of everything. A little bit this, a little bit that. And if you see the screen, I have a little doggy here flying in a spaceship. You know, the reason dogs are flying in a spaceship with no hood on because they like to stick their head out and you know, I guess, smell the air. Granted, they can't do that too long in space. But what is science fiction? On my screen, it's a little dog. It's for a phone app game. It's a concept piece. What I'm going to do is take through my screen what I've been working on this week, because a lot of it has been sci-fi. So from that dog to these very simple shapes, again, it is a science fiction type game, but they wanted very simple shapes, primary colors, and the works. This kind of looks like a banana with a mean hamster. We're going here to overhead view spaceships. I like to talk about, again, going back to phone apps, pixels, you know, what pixel size should they be? Or is there going to be sprites for a side view game? Well, these ships are actually from a top-down view. You get to buy turrets and weapons and such. And we'll go about talking about all this. You can see sup dread. Like, what is that? That's a super dreadnought. That is my code and my silliness for the person that was going to color everything that was going to go on. From here, we have some spaceships I did last night. I was up to about 2:30 this morning getting all these done, only to have them all turned down, is the nature of the beast. Again, another phone app game. But I'm going to show you guys how to make this and how to color them and what this is and that is and why we have guns here and yada, yada, yada. Again, functionality is very important. And let me zoom in on this guy. This is the Big Read. I really like this style. That's a little bit too close. All this was a big black mass, very robotic. And then what I did is I came in and I gave some hues and highlights and this and that. But it gives a really nice, cool effect. And we're going to hit that in week 2, so that will be next week. Tonight, what we're going to be talking about is cybernetic arms. Right here, again, I won't go into all the detail right now, but we will learn it tonight before we're done, where the deltoid is, the tricep, where the bicep would go. You have all sorts of flexor muscles, what makes sense, doing some cutaways, these close-ups. And I'm not an electrician, but it looks cool, and it looks like it would work. I always think about Luke Skywalker and his arm or his hand being cut off. And I just heard this science fact. They now have a printer, and I've not seen this, but a printer that will be able to take your DNA, they scrape it, put it in the machine somehow, and it will spit out a DNA that will be able to grow a heart, organs, a hand, and that this is science fact now. The other cool thing, within the next 3 to 5 years, everyone's supposed to have one of these, but they have a machine, the same guy that made the Segway. You can put house paint in this on one side, and on the other side, it is distilled drinking water from house paint. You can use sewage. Again, science fiction, but now it is science fact. So again, functionality. We're going to talk about cyborgs. And speaking of cyborgs, this is a 3D rendering I did in Maya, working with them in subdivisions. So we will talk about a little bit about 3D, not so much here in this class, but I like him. I like Cyborg. He was fun to do. Last but not least, we're going to talk about some armor. I'm trying to zoom in here really nice and tight. If you look over here, there's some notes. This is what you call an image plane or part of an image plane. Here's my character. Here's on one side, the other side. She's asymmetrical. Only one side equals one side, so I had to draw both sides so the modeler could find out and model and make things all happen. So with that, what we're going to do now is I'm going to open up a new, and I'm going to do Let's say 300 DPI, not pixels. I want inches. We'll do a 20 by 20. I'm happy with that. So let's get our brains warmed up and going. Okay, what I want us to do is, Mr. Nelson, do you have the clock ready?
Indeed.
All right, here's what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, ladies. We're going to draw a little robot. It'll be a cartoony robot, any sort of robot that you want. We're going to have 5 minutes to do it using some simple shapes. And then after 5 minutes is done, we're going to take screens. After that, you're going to do a follow-along drawing a cartoon robot. Then we're going to jump into some anatomy. And then we're going to talk about how we're going to layer cybernetics over the arm. So,
sounds good.
I'll hit my brush button here. Why is my keys not working, Mr. Nelson?
Because you're on a background.
I'm on the background, but I'm pushing B and nothing is happening here.
Quite possibly one of your control keys or shift keys or something is stuck, maybe.
Once you pause the video,
yeah. Hold on, Pt.B. We're back. So just tell me. Oh.
Really?
And we are resumed.
Hey, welcome back. So much for live TV. Is this live or is it Memorex? All right, so before we're rudely interrupted by my computer doing all sorts of crazy stuff, we're going to do a 5-minute challenge of drawing a robot. All right, so what is a robot? That is up to you to decide using simple shapes right now. So, is everybody ready?
Is everyone ready?
I feel that they are, because I am. You tell me when to go, Mr. Nelson.
Let's see. Now.
All right, here we go. Let's see. Simple square type sort of shape. Again, simple shapes, and this is kind of good for me to test out since I've been having some computer problems, evidently. You gonna be following along this night, Mr. Nelson?
Yeah, as best I can with the Photoshop running at a couple of frames per second.
I don't need an update. All right, everything seems to be functioning on my end. Okay, so again, simple shapes. I remember being at the Ren Center in one of our projects. We had to go into this class. Buzz fed us really, really good. And then we were locked in a room basically for almost 3 days straight. And we were given this robot, but we weren't told how anything functions. And we had to build a set. And we had to get the robot to pass a cylinder from, come on, are you working? Okay, there we go. I was worried my thing was messing up. Anyway, it was a cool class. The robot was awesome. And it was a very good exercise in understanding that everybody needs to get sleep. There's a lot of our guys that basically worked 3 days straight, had no sleep at all. And Buzz, being the great guy that he was, waited for us. And about a day and a half into everything, he came in playing the producer saying, hey, we have to change everything. You have to do this, this, this. And everyone already had sets built and was getting kind of like cool with everything. And, well, it was, like I said, a good exercise into showing us that we needed to sleep so we could be ready for the unknown. Bullocks. How are we doing on time, Mr. Nelson? Is everybody still here? I'm getting kind of worried because I have not heard Mr. Nelson. Am I on mute?
Oh, I've been talking to you, but I was muted. Yeah, everybody's...
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, God, just keep drawing and hope for the best. It's all good. How are we doing on time?
We're about 4 minutes in now.
Okay, I'm going to drag this all down here. You said 4 minutes?
Yep, 4 minutes in.
I'm a huge Danger Girl fan. Scott J. Campbell. He had a cover once where he hit R2-D2, and this is not R2-D2 by any means, okay, into his drawing. And the inker thought he really wanted R2-D2 in there. And well, he wound up inking R2-D2, and it got published, and Lucas and everyone calls said, no, we don't do that. You don't have permission for this. So it's kind of a funny lesson. I was going to start off with a humanoid robot, and we're going to do that here in a little bit, and I didn't want to do it twice. And all right, that should be enough time. All right, Mr. Nelson, I think that's adequate enough time. My hand's loosed up. I can touch my thumb to my pinky to my thumb, and do all sorts of crazy things with it.
Okay.
Well, it's been 5 minutes, right?
Yeah, about.
About. All right, so hey, look, this is a robot thingy, almost R2-D2 shape-ish, and it's simple shapes. You don't really color this way, and by any means, we don't use it for production purposes, but it's nice to kind of get the juices flowing. So that's my little bitty robot. What I'm anxious to see is how many people out there made a humanoid robot, like an Iron Man power suit, compared to a little bitty guy like this. So what I want you guys to do is raise your hands so we can take some screens. I'm going to talk about what basic shapes I've seen in there, and then we'll go and making our humanoid robot looking thing. So Mr. Nelson, I need volunteers so we can take the screen.
Alrighty. So raise your hand. And we have a Leonard.
Leonard. Again, going back to sci-fi, when I think sci-fi robots, I think of Star Wars. I really do. Leonard, humanoidish robot.
Hello.
Hey, man.
Humanoidish.
I like it, though. You got some good stuff going on. I see a lot of squares or rectangles. Not bad. I like the eyes. A little antenna eye.
Yeah.
And you even tried to bend the arm. I give you props for that. Not bad. So that's one humanoid robot. Who do we have next? Very good, Leonard. Very good. One Canadian. You know, because the exchange value, it takes 1.5 of you to make an American. That's all I got to say.
Ah.
So who's going to volunteer next?
All right, we have a Jane.
Jason. Heard that on my Jeep just the other day, and I.
Hello, Derek.
Hey,
Hello?
Jane. Hello.
Hi.
I kind of like what's going on. It's like I'm leaking some oil. I feel bad. Again, you can get so much emotion from eyes, even with robots. Another humanoid, 2 humanoid robots. Not bad. Do you guys sit next to each other?
Same country.
Same country? Because, I mean, it's always Leonard and you. And even the hands, somewhat reminiscent of what Leonard's got going on. But I like that. It's not just fingers. He's got some clampy-looking things going on. I like how you're going. The juices are flowing. You got some simple shapes, shells, circles, and some squares going on. Well done. So you get a little warm-up exercise, Miss Jane.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to seeing what you and Mr. Leonard bring to the table for homework.
It'll be my first robot.
Rock 'em, but will not be your last. Oh, no, not your last. Well done. Who's the next victim?
We got an Alex.
Alex. I like it. Stop, warning. Danger, danger. You will slide on the slippery floor.
Yeah, this is my crossing guard robot.
I like this. What I really, really like is you threw some perspective in here. And if you look down below where his wheels are at, I like how you do the rectangle because I can see your guidelines and then making the circles there for the wheels. Well done. I can tell he's got volume. I like it.
Thanks.
No worries. Good job. Who's the next victim?
We have a Mario.
Mario. Why is the meatball so spicy? Mario, you got the humanoid and a little R2 unit going on.
Yeah, I do.
Hey,
Yeah.
Nice to hear from you, Mr. Mario. Again, looking at simple shapes. I like the chest plate. It's a nice, simple shape, but it's a good read. You got some it's proportion with anatomy. It's pretty spot on. Tip number 1, you guys might want to write this down, but usually for human anatomy, you always see the artist, you know, they kind of look at you and they put their thumb up and they look at you. They're not trying to like see how dirty their thumbnail is, but they're actually measuring you. If you take your head and you look at it from your shoulder to your elbow is usually 1 head length long. So if everybody touches their computer with the Sylvie robot head and take it from his shoulder to his elbow, that's about the proper length for where the arm starts for a human. And then again from the elbow down to the wrist, that would be proper proportions for what an arm length would be for a human. So I don't know if you knew that or not, but you got it. I'm proud of you. Well done.
Thank you.
Good shapes. Mr. Mario, you get an A+. You get a spicy meatball.
Thank
The
you.
next victim.
Alrighty. We have a Ray.
Ray, we'll just call him the Streak. Woo! That'd be Ray Stevens, by the way. I'm old. You got a little R2 unit going on. Were you following along, John, with me? Yes, you were. I see you down there. Well, not bad, especially since, you know, I didn't really give instructions at all. You can't get any simpler than an R2 unit. I mean, it is a cylinder and some squares, rectangles. Well done. It's a good warm-up exercise. Well, I really like what you did, and I don't know if it's intentional or not, but the different hues of blue, you can tell where it's almost like 2 points of light. The shading, I like it. I can tell you're going to do good in this class. You're going to do well. So well done.
Alrighty. So the next up, we have a Steve.
Not Curtis, Steve, is it?
Yep.
Wait a minute. His son said he wasn't going to be in class tonight.
This actually might be his son.
Yep.
What's up, baby? Hey, I got a
Not a lot.
microphone for my computer. This dude kicked my kicked my butt. I almost said a bad word. In Battlefield 3, and he's like, "Hey, you got a mic yet? Got a mic yet?" I don't. I can't spend $80 on the mic just yet, but I will very soon. So then you can make fun of me. Anyway, I like the simple shapes. Another humanoid robot. He reminds me. He's a little more reminiscent of the red robot from the Black Hole in the old 1970s/80s movie. So you got some stuff going on there. I like it. Well done. And when I see you
Thank you.
online, I'm going to kick your butt.
Oh, bring it.
I talk big now, and I'm going to cry like a baby if I see you online. I know that for a fact. You're like, no, stop shooting me. No, keep up the good work. You tell your family, I hope they're okay, and if they're not, make fun of them and tell them they suck for not being here, okay?
Yeah, my dad was out spending time with my other sister.
All right, okay. All right. He better do his homework, though. Make sure he does his homework. If not, you can kick his butt. Well done, sir, Mr. He's Naughty Penguins, by the way, if you have Xbox. He will shoot and kill you. So anyway, next victim. Well done, sir.
Thank you.
We have a Raphael.
Raphael, how you doing, buddy? It's kind of refreshing. I mean, they're very exotic names, but I can pronounce these names. I love this. This is awesome, Mr. Raphael. It's kind of got like Mega Man sort of feel to it. I love the simple shapes. It's a good read. The character's got attitude. And again, even though he doesn't have eyes, the way you have the eye slit and the body language is conveying emotion to me. It's almost like I'm going to have to get ready to do something because something's on its way. I love the simple legs. I mean, seriously, they're just cylinders and little circles. It's a good read. It's amazing what you can do from simple shapes. Well done.
Thank you very much.
I didn't get a mic. I'm sorry. I was just like, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you, man. Yeah, I can hear you. The
Thanks.
world can hear you, Mr. Raphael.
Thanks.
Hey, no worries. Keep it up, dude.
Alrighty. Next up, we have a Bastion.
Bastion.
I believe. I'm terrible at pronunciation, so hopefully I got that right.
Look at that. It's a humanesque looking robot on a wheel. You got the best of both worlds. I love how, and again, I really encourage this. If you guys ever look at the screen closely, he's drawing through his character. You do the guidelines, he's drawing through. And, you know, in cleanup, you can erase all this. But when you draw through a character like this, it really helps you work on proportions. And again, we're leading up to that for anatomy. So, the Bastion, correct? Why, yes, Derek, it is correct. he sounds like a robot. Yes, Derek. All right, hey, well done, dude. Keep up the good work. It's almost got like this Japanese feel, like Feudal Japan sort of helmet. It's amazing, again, from simple shapes we can create anything. Next victim.
We have a... Hold on.
You know, this is for the people who are downloading this video right now, and I'm talking to you. Put your coffee down and listen. We do this because it's cool to see other people's work. We don't want you to compare yourself to anybody else, but it's nice to see what your fellow classmates are doing. And it's important to kind of listen to my feedback. And sometimes, a lot of times, the fellow students will give really good gold nuggets that you can watch and kind of hook into. So who is this again, Mr. Nelson?
This is Mr. Wolf.
Hey, Mr. Wolf. I have beamed you up.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing? It's like a jack-o'-lantern R2 unit going on. Hey, you know what? Simple shapes, right? We got the hand-eye coordination going on right now, especially if you're working with a tablet. It's really important to warm up. A lot of times when I start on something, it takes a good 5 to 10 minutes for me to be able to follow my own guidelines around. Like, it's a different animal. So well done, dude. I'm proud of you. Keep up the good work.
Thanks.
Alrighty, then now we have a Miguel, maybe?
Mikey. Nice. Hey, can you hear me?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I really like this for the simple fact that it is humanoid. It reminds me of a toy. And if you go into the industry, I mean, stuff like this, they're called mechanics. You can get a really good niche because everybody wants cool toys. This reminds me of the old classic little toys. I really like how you have the shading. It's just giving them more volume. I like this little brain pan up there. Very, very nice. Well done.
Oh, thank you.
Quite welcome. Again, just simple shapes. I like the tread on the tires.
Oh, yeah, I didn't want to put its legs, so I gave him tires.
Hey, you can get around. That's awesome. Well done. Keep up. Again, I love how you made not only a simple shape of a square, but you threw that third dimension in there to I don't want to say round him out because he's a square, but you can tell he has depth. Well done. Again, simple shapes.
Alrighty, so next up we got the final person is a William.
Howdy, howdy. That's like a zombie robot.
Thank you.
It's almost a C3PO unit. Like,
Yeah, I was thinking that as you're drawing R2.
It's like, Chewbacca, put me back together. Oh, I like it though. Again, looking at the shoulders, little round cylinders or circles and cylinders, circles for the elbows, cylinders. You even got the hands going on. With the robots and power armor, in a lot of ways, it's a lot easier to draw because you can break those things up and then build on top of them. And again, we'll discuss more of that later on when we get that aspect. But it's a good segue into what we're going to be doing here in just a moment. I feel bad for the guy. Well done.
Thank you.
Alrighty, I think that pretty much just wraps it up.
Roger that. Then, hey, here's what we're going to do, ladies and germs. As soon as I get my screen back, you guys are going to follow along. I have to show my screen. Now let's talk about what is robots. FOSSA, I don't know if you guys remember that company. They were around for a good while. Back in the day when I was young, I did a little bit of work for them. And they're like, we want you to draw a mech unit. And I kept drawing power armor. Like, no, mech unit, big boxy robot things. And I kept drawing like another Iron Man. And no. So what we're going to do today is we're to define what a robot is going to be. As we've already seen, there's a lot of different robots, a lot of different ideas. But to tie into with anatomy, what we're going to learn later on, we're going to draw a humanoid-looking robot. So what I'm going to do is I'll create another layer. To use layer 1, get my little blue out. And what I'm going to do is, if I'm drawing here, you guys are not drawing up here. If I'm drawing here, you're not drawing down here. Let me mess with my opacity. I'll bring it down to about 41%. Hit enter, and that's good. What I always like to start with an air drawing, whether it's a monster or it's a robot, even a spaceship, I want to start in the center. Because if I start with my head way up here, I may run out of room by the time I get to my legs. So if I start with my center mass, I can always build up or build down from that. So what I always like to do is start from the center. And what we're going to do is, again, this is my first layer, and we'll again redefine or refine it as we go along. And if you're working with paper and pencil, first rule of drawing is you draw lightly so you don't create ghost lines. Second rule of drawing is you draw lightly. So without any further ado, I'm not for sure what to call this particular shape right here. It's almost a teardrop shape. What I'm going to do is here. Now notice there's a slight curve to this area right through here. It's a teardrop shape in the center of your paper, pad, what have you. And going back to simple shapes again, I'm going to take it from here to here, down here like this. Notice I connected from here to here. I didn't do from here, but for this ends, nice little cylinder. Make it a little bit longer. Have them a long waist. And from here, we're going to bring this area down like that. So what we're going to do is, this is going to be his chest right here. This is his torso right here. And what I'm going to do is, from this area where it ends, I'm going to go up just slightly, come out like this, down, follow it around like this. Excuse me, and what this does, it gives the illusion of it's wrapping around the cylinder right through here. Right, so again, we have the torso, or the chest, the torso area, and his little crotch area. And from here, what we can see is, and I'll do a different color for this here, we'll do green. What we can see, or can't see, is there'll be little circles right here where his legs are going to be, okay? I'll go back to my blue. So from this area right here where those little circles are at, hooks up to his pelvic region, I'm going to come down here like this. And I'm going to come down here like this. Again, I'm drawing through my character, and that's what I want to do. So I make sure everything is where it needs to be. Later on, you erase your tool and erase all this. Or if we refine it even more in a different layer, we can work that out. And as I said, I wanted to start from my center mass. Well, I'm going to shrink him up just a little bit because I want to make sure I have some room for his legs. That's what's beautiful about Photoshop right here. Hit my brush tool. Okay, so recapping. We got the chest, the torso. We got the crotch, pelvic area. Our little green circles are where everything hooks up at, but you're not really going to see that. So right now what we're going to do is, I guess like a big gumdrop sort of thing. That's the first thing that comes to mind. I'm going to start down here like this. Here we go. And I'm going to come down here like this. Lay it flat like that. So ideally, legs, this is where the gastrocnemius and the other muscles in the calf region ideally would go if you're a human. But we need knees, okay? So what we're going to do for the robot is right over here, we're going to make a little circle and a circle that goes on his armor or his plating, so it at least gives the illusion it can bend and move. Again, this is a cartoony robot, but it's going to give you the building blocks of what's coming later on in class to be able to draw, your hinge joint. Hinge joint only opens up one way so far, like your elbows and knees. So we got this going on here. I'm going to come up here just a little bit, all the way down to this area right here, the corner. All the way down to this corner here like this. Slightly under. And then I'm going to draw this here where they meet. And that's where his foot's going to be. Now the way my shape's going right here, get a green. This is coming through here. He's at the slight twist. So if I put this other foot forward like this, it's going to look a little bit odd. So what I want to do is I'm going to move this flat foot area over just a little bit, again, to give him a little more depth. So we're going to have part of this showing. Come up here like this. Down here like this. And here we go. Actually, let's bring this down here. There we go. So again, just using simple shapes, we got something going on. So let's start with the chest plate. What we're going to do, let's just draw a little circle right here. This could be a sensor area, whatever you want it to be. Circle within a circle like this. And we'll give them a little bit of shoulder pads. We're going to have things connecting. And whenever you have things connect, you have to, again, remember about functionality. Does it connect in the right place? Does it make sense if he moves around? I love World of Warcraft. I love their huge shoulder pads. But I think it would be very hard to fight in some of those things. You're not going to be able to see the person next to you. You're not going to be able to turn your head. So we won't make them super, super big. But we're going to come right here like this. Come up here. A slight little jaunt. And then we'll come back up here to connect like this. Again, it's okay to draw through everything. That's what I want you guys to do. All right, so if we got this side going on, this would be his right side, so let's do the left side as well. We're going to come up here, a little jaunt area, bring the shoulder pad down like this, connects here. So we got some shoulder pads going on. Still not happy with my foot down here, okay. So we got a little sensor unit, we got some shoulder pads, we got the torso. Let's do some cylinders for some arms. Like this here. Bring this arm out here like this. So you have a right arm and a left arm, you're a robot. You don't have to have either arm, but this is a humanoid looking robot, so that's what we're going to do. And from here, we're going to do, again, simple shapes. So I'm thinking a lot of Mega Man after, I can't remember who, I don't know if it was Raphael or who it was, but I love that little pose, that little guy. So Mega Man has huge, huge bracers for his forearms. So we're going to do the same thing for this guy's forearms here. We're going to bring them up like this. Square them off. Not so much square, we're going to have a little angle going on. Again, you do one side, go to the next side like this. We'll draw a couple little circles right here where everything kind of connects. Again, it's okay if you can see through it because you know we can refine it here in a little bit. So a quick recap, we have the chest, torso area, pelvic region, cylinders for legs, little kneecaps so he can bend, big plating for his gastrocnemius and shin area. He's got some big feet. Now what we're going to do right now is draw little squares for hands like this. Now this is what I'm talking about, the 3PO unit. There you go. His hands were all divided up. You're like, well, how are we going to build hands out of this? Well, actually, this is going to be the top of the hands, like armor plating. So what we can do here is where this meets, make a little indicator where a thumb is going to be, and just 1, 2, and it looks like he has fist. Again, this is where it's covering the top of the hands. We'll make a little square like this. Come down here, 1 and 2. So now we have little hands. I'm going to give you guys a minute to catch up as I fix my leg. I don't want to be going too fast for anybody by any means. But again, this is simple shapes, right? Right. Mr. Nelson, how you doing?
Doing okay. Bit of a challenge with Photoshop being difficult.
But you were up to the challenge. All right, so we got a basic body here going on, and we can do all sorts of shapes for heads. Tell you what we're going to do is, instead of just a straight-on shot, we're going to give kind of, again, I want the illusion of depth. So what we're going to do is slightly right where this meets, come up here, Make a straight line like this. And we're trying to curve it out like this a little bit. Follow down here. And this is going to be lower than this here. Take it like that. So he's going to be looking to his left side. Let me get my green out real quick. In honor of almost St. Patty's Day. So ideally, if this is a human face, it's going to be this area right here like that. That's what we're going for. Oh, bullocks. All right, so I got my blue back out. Does anybody need more time before we keep going on?
Everyone good? Anybody need more time? We got a ready and a kind of. So.
All right, well, we'll keep pushing on then. Okay, what we're going to do is there's a couple schools of thought. We can give them a skinny neck or make them like a bad A. We're going to do kind of a combination of both. And here's what we're going to do. From this area right here, we're going to move in this a little bit. We're going to bring this line down like that. Come in here. Bring a line like this. It's almost like a V shape. And from here, we're going to take a line down like this ever so slightly. And then this actually comes out at an angle like that. Here at an angle like that, your trapezius muscles. The easy way to remember those being trapezius muscles, if you're like a monkey swinging on trapeze, those muscles there, your trapezius muscles, they get one heck of a workout. I'm going to zoom in here just a little bit like that. And then I'll make another neck area like that. All right, so we got the head. We got some cool neck things going on. We have the armor plating. We've got gauntlets. We have fists. We have our feet and our legs. Let's design the head. Let's make it pretty simple, shall we? What we're going to do here, and you guys can make your own faces. It's no biggie. What we're going to do is I'm just going to come over like this. Square eye here. Square eye here. Now notice my eye's not dangling down here. It's not up here. Ideally, let me get my green back out. If there's an imaginary line, they'd be the same length like that. And again, what we can do is the basic things that we're learning now, we're going to build upon so you can draw real humanistic looking faces. Manga, photorealistic. I mean, this is the building blocks of everything. And we're going to give them a little mouth. I wish I had an oil change. There we go. And in honor of Iron Man, I'm going to do this to mine from this area right here. Come down here like this. Make a circle for where the ear would be at. And it's a little bit of finishing details. Again, this is kind of a cartoony guy, but I'm going to give him some like bands where he would be able to bend. And from this, you can go crazy. I mean, you can build all sorts of panels through the armor. Zooming in here where the neck muscles are at. If we have bands here and here, I would actually. Now, I'm not making just straight lines across. What I'm trying to do is make everything kind of concave or contort to where I think the little cables would be. And we have a little power armored suit robot guy. Simple shapes. And tell you what we're going to do, because it's 10:15, we've been at it for an hour. What I like to do is we'll go ahead and take a break at this point. When we come back, we'll share screens, and then we're going to talk more about human anatomy, deltoid biceps, flexor muscles, the whole 9 yards. And we're going to start talking about how to lay realistic cybernetic features on a human arm, which will tie into your guys' homework. But I also want to see our guys' screens. So while we're on break, get some coffee, get an adult drink, whatever you're going to do, use the potty. But when we come back, we'll look at some screens. And if you don't need a break, just keep working on your rendering right now. How's that sound, Mr. Nelson?
Sounds good.
Brilliant. I can't wait to see what you guys came up with.
Alrighty, and we are back.
Hey, welcome back after the short break. Nelson and I were talking, Mr. Ponyboy himself, during the break that you guys were not privy to, or some were, some were not. But if you're listening to it after the fact, what we're doing here, I was talking about another job I just got off of. And by using these simple techniques that we just did, and I'm not going into the multiply layer and different layers in Photoshop, but the simple shapes that we just did, let me get my screen back. I built this little goblin here, whole 9 yards. And again, he's nothing great, nothing to write home to mom about. But he was quick. You got to throw some shading, some perspective on here. You have so that. Wrong color, Derek. I said red. Okay, thank you very much, Derek. Simple shape for the head, triangles for ears. We just did this whole aspect for the torso on our little robot Iron Man guy. We have the pelvic region, cylinders for legs, circles. Just like we did with a robot, kind of a bigger space right here for a shin guard. Circles for feet, cylinder, circles. Circle for the shoulder, circle here, circle there. I mean, all it was is simple shapes. And later on, when we talk about video games and stuff, he's all cut to pieces for to put back together again for animation for a sprite game. And this is what he'll look like once he's put together, and he'll be able to move around. But in order to talk to my producer, I have to show concepts, proof of concepts. And what we just did, this is like just one level above what we did today. I mean, you can literally make anything you want. So back to my little Iron Man guy. Yay! And I know, I feel so terrible. I'm like, I was preaching to the choir. We're going to make a robot. No, I screwed up again. I turned him into a Power Man, Iron Man type suit. But we're going to say he's a robot. So what I would love to do is I want some volunteers. I want to see what you guys have done.
Alrighty, so things are going to get a little bit more complicated now that most of you guys are panelists. So what I am going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and reset. Well, this gets complicated. Okay, if you want to switch over to your screen, post in the questions panel, and I'll switch over to you.
Don't make me come to your house, because I will. Someone volunteer.
All right, we have a Steve Curtis. Says
I was just thinking of Naughty Penguins. Yay, Naughty Penguins. Let's see what you got. Hold on, let me let you take the screen here. Look at you go, man. What do you think?
Thank you.
What do you think about all this? I mean, say 2 weeks ago, were we able to draw at this level?
Probably.
You're supposed to say no, dude. Did you not get my IM?
Well, I'm using paint, so.
I'm proud of you. I mean, you got some really good proportions. I like the wraparound armor. I love the shin guards. It's a good little read. I like it. Well done. I love the red eye. Is he humanoid, cyborgish? What is it?
Uh, I really don't know.
Here's the other IMI guy. You're supposed to know, man. Lie. When in doubt, lie.
Cyborg, I guess.
That is an awesome cyborg. Thank you very much, Mr. Naughty Penguins. Let's have a big round of applause for Naughty Penguins. Well done, dude.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Next victim.
We have a William. A William.
Wallace?
No.
I know William Wallace, too. Look at that. Mr. William.
Yes, sorry.
Hey, no worries, man. Look at, dude, I like that. I mean,
Thanks.
seriously, I like the blue tones to it again. Because, I mean, you have blue steel, cool steel. Generally, again, this is why people need to listen while we're going through everyone else's homework. Here's another little gold nugget for you. Whenever I do just flats for spaceships, and we'll go, again, another thing we are going to go over, I only use 3 grays. I start out with my black and white rendering. I'll use a very light gray to give the flat grayish color. Then 2 more steps, then a darker gray to give it volume. And then what I like to do is like your dude right there you got on your screen is I'll use a cold steel blue to give highlights to it to make it have a metal sheen. So all you really need a lot of the times when you're drawing robots for concepts, unless you know that you've got to throw color in it, just 3 to 4 Prismacolors or your color palette on Paint or Photoshop. But I like it. How was your art level, drawing level before all this?
It's okay. It's I'm still working on it. Went to school for it, but it's coming along.
Good. And you know what? Everything's a work in progress. This when you think you're on top of the world, you'll be knocked down, you'll cry, but this is why we get knocked down, so we learn how to pick ourselves back up. I'm proud of you, man. You keep it up. You're welcome.
Thanks, man.
Next victim.
Alrighty, we have a Mario.
Mario! It's been forever, Mario. How you been doing?
Hold on, he's not there yet. If I can find
Mario's like, I'm going to kill that guy. I'm not Italian, you butthead. Nice. I like how you draw the little T in there for symmetry. For what's one side is the other side. And I like how you changed up the head a little bit. I'm proud of you. Well done. I like the fingers that are opened. It's a good read. So what do you think about everything going on right now? And remember, you're live. I am very happy to be part of this class, Derek. I am a self-aware robot. That's awesome, Mr. Mario. And I am not Italian, you butthead. Sorry, Mr. Mario. We'll never do that again. Spicy meatball. Well done. You keep up the good work, dude.
Alrighty, we have a Jane.
Jane said, I know, it's annoying. I can't help it. It's like my OCD or it's just... Dude, that's colorful. You like the antennae.
I know. I don't know robots.
That almost makes me think like he's dancing. Oh, we are saying.
I know he's kind of falling over, I guess.
You know what? That's all right because you got the basic shapes down. You got some good colors because green and red, complementary colors. A throwback to drawing 101. I like how you position the head because as we talked about, you can give a flat read. There's a lot of times, I will do a straight-on shot. But to make it interesting, I always like to kind of keep the body forward so you can see everything, but in a slight head tilt, 3/4 view, it throws in volume to it. So what are you thinking about all this? Are you starting to make connections now?
Sort of.
Sort of is better than hell no, right?
But I was following you.
Well,
I'll see I'll see how the homework is,
all right, you'll do good.
because this is new for me. I'm not into I've never done robots or spaceships or whatever.
Sort of rock. The only thing better than robots are elves with pointed ears. Well, all elves have pointed ears. But besides that, we'll do a fantasy class later down the road. But well done. I'm proud of you. Keep it up.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Alrighty, next up we have Alex.
Alex Trebek. Hey, Alex, how you doing?
I'm well. How about you?
I am good. I like what's going on. You got good body proportions. I mean, exactly what we wanted. Exactly what I was doing. I like the purples. I like how you got some harsh purples compared to like the light lavender. Here's my man card for knowing the difference between those two colors. And I just hate lavender. I know, right? It's fabulous. It's lavender, and it's okay. It's okay to be lavender. And what I really like is I see how you drew through everything. At this point in everyone's career, in this 101 class, that's very important. So how's the class treating you?
I think it's great. This is when I'm in your class is pretty much when I can draw my best. When I'm on my own, it gets a little weird.
It's all good. It's a big journey, and again, I just want to take time. A lot of people listening to this right now, they're on their own time, but for the live class to be with me on a Friday night, I mean, that shows dedication. So Mr. Alex and everybody else, thank you very much for being here on a Friday night. You are welcome, Derek.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm teasing you. Rock on, dude. You keep up the good work.
Alrighty, next up we have a Leonard.
We have a Leonard. I love Leonard. But you know what? You kind of threw things out of perspective. It's always Leonard and Jane.
Oh yeah, I did mess up, didn't I?
No, that's all right. But look at Leonard put like he's a shadow-looking thing. He's not floating in negative space, which I always got in trouble for. Rock on. Leonard, seriously, because I mean, before you struggled with a stick dude, and now you've got some body proportions down.
Yeah. I was learning.
You is learning. Amen to that.
And the timing of learning how to do mechs and etc. is perfect.
Really, what's
right
going
now
on?
I'm having to design a steampunk rat that is going to be built out of metal.
Really?
So I got to come up with the concept drawings this weekend. So I'm going, hey, this is good ground for it.
Rock on. Now for steampunk, this is a little off topic. Lots of nuts and bolts, lots of gears. So
Yep.
I would really suggest Googling your gears. And again, a gear will hit another gear. Make sure they're all functionable. And
I've been making gears.
Rock.
I've been printing them on my printer.
So you got a 3D printer, don't you?
Yeah.
And for those who don't know it, Leonard is like got the ultimate toy. He can make anything in 3D and print it out in 3D.
Yep.
That was on the Big Bang Theory the other day. He's like, yeah, it only cost us $5,000 for it.
Oh, they got a good priced one.
Yeah. So hey, keep up the good work, man. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. This is awesome.
Good job.
All right, we have a Raphael.
Mr. Raphael. Turtles on the Half Shell? Turtle Power? Dude, you took my Mega Man to the next level. Can you hear
thanks.
me? Hey, rock on. Seriously?
Yeah.
So did you ever play Mega Man?
Oh, sure, I did.
Oh, man, it's a great game. I loved it. I mean, again, simple shapes, simple sprites, but it was a cool, fun game. And what I'm attempting to have everyone do, not only draw robots, again, tying into what anatomy is without drawing the actual muscles, we're getting the shapes. Once we get the shapes down, then we learn our muscle shapes and the names of them, because you need to learn the names of them. So if I say, hey, your deltoid has 3 striations, should have, and you only have 2, you know what I'm talking about. But I love the armor. I love the colors. Again, very Mega Manish. I like the face mask. I love this 3/4 pose with his face. You got some depth. You got some shading going on. And again, I love how you drew the line down for the symmetry. So keep up the good work, man. Your art background, and forgive me if I've asked before, because I'm old and I'm forgetful. All the aspartame I drink from Diet Coke. Uh, uh, how's this class been treating you?
Well, I'm really liking it. I think it's a great opportunity for me to get feedback on my work. So I really like it.
Well, I really like what you've done. What I'd love to see you do eventually, especially something like this, I'd like to see you take it to the next level, the finishing level, where we work with multiple layers, and we'll do that later. It's not a Photoshop class, but that would be a fun character for a sprite, or to actually make in 3D and do some image planes for them. So you keep up the good work, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
You're quite welcome.
All right, next up we have a Wolf. Sorry, Wolf. I was paying attention to the other panel because everybody was failing, and you successfully posted in the questions panel, so I missed you.
Screwed for doing the right thing.
Yep, pretty much. Sorry about that.
All right.
How are you doing, Mr. Wolf?
Doing well. How are you?
I like this because, okay, this is me doing a read for your drawing. The caption would read, "Hulk, did you just pass gas?" Seriously, he's like, "What the WTF?" What the
Yeah, he
fart?
kind of has a little attitude, doesn't he?
He does. I like it because, again, we can do so much with body language alone. I always say eyes are the key to the soul and expression, but body language itself. Because, if you're on the comic book, you can't draw a person like, I'm standing like this, like Superman, while I'm waiting for my McDonald's Happy Meal. You'd have to have some different poses, some different key poses. You can't be like, I'm Superman all the time. And sometimes for the comedic moments, this is a great read. And what I really like is you put some shadow, some shading in. And you have 3 colors. You have the white background, blue, and then the gray. Really well done. I'm proud of you. Keep it up, dude.
Thanks, man.
Quite welcome.
All right, I think that is... Oh, we do have one. Looks like we have another person. Oh, Sid. We have Sid.
No way. She probably rendered out the entire Avengers group. Iron Man fighting, and there's lighting background and explosions, and she did it with her pinky. Hello, Sydney.
Hello. Sorry, I've only been here for like 5 minutes.
5 minutes for you to come up with this. Not bad, girl. Hey, thanks for coming to class again. Always love to see your stuff. I love, and again, we were just talking about poses. A lot of the poses that I'm drawing right now, there's a front-on view, very plain Jane sort of thing. But you always have the ability to throw in personality behind these poses. I like it. It makes me think of Futurama.
Thanks.
Well done. So how's this class? Because you're a very accomplished artist, especially at your young age. I mean, you're not super young. I'm super old. Okay. So are you able to learn things? You picking up some good tips? You kicking your dad and your brother's butt at this?
It helps a lot because I don't like to listen to the basic rules, starting with basic shapes, and I don't like to use shadowing and stuff. So it kind of makes me stick to that, which is good.
You're a free thinker, I can tell, which is good. It makes you think outside the box. So I'm proud of you. Well done. Definitely. Definitely well done. You keep it up, girl, and I'm going to hook you up with some people.
Cool.
All right?
Thanks.
Next victim. No worries.
I think that's actually... Or we do have one more person, I believe. I'm okay showing, so I'm assuming that means to switch over.
Well, who is this show off here? Oh, headset is broken. Well, poop on a cracker. Who is this, Mr. Nelson?
Ulina? Ulina? I'm sorry. I don't do pronunciation. Ewelina. Just do that.
Nostrovia. That means cheers in Polish. It means you drink a lot. I'm proud of you. I like this. You have a very unique style. What is really cool is, I mean, it's really important to get your own style. It's very important that you can match styles as well if this is something you want to do in your life, but it's also very important to have your own unique style. And looking at what I just did, comparatively speaking, you hit all the markers, what we were talking about, but you brought your own finesse to it. I'm really proud. I like the little bitty robot guy too. Very chippy sort of manga-ish, type of feel. Well done. I hope the class is serving you well. You keep up the good work, Alina. I don't know how to say it out there. I'm sorry. Get your headset fixed. So, Polish version. Thank you. Or thanks. You're welcome. Quite welcome.
Alrighty. So I think that means it's about time to jump back over to Dirk.
Roger that. All right, it's time to get serious because enough of the gameplay. You hear that, Sid? You have to follow along.